Hey everybody, Asher here, back with the Starsector 0.95a update. And what is going on today is that we have a fuel problem. Now, it's not like the hugest fuel problem. We can actually get over to some of the core worlds still and probably be okay. The one downer is that I do have some contracts that have been accepted that kind of take me over to like here, and that's 120,000 credits that are kind of on the table right now. I do have a barren world that I may be able to hit for 45 days in time, so that's a lot of money that I might not be able to reach, but that's part of the shotgun approach of taking these contracts. Now, I do have a bounty for Dancer Europa, who's over here, actually in a black hole in the New Biscay Nebula. We know where that is, near a cryovolcanic world. We might be able to do that one and still have fuel to spare to get over there. In fact, she may give us the fuel we need to get the rest of the way without any problems. I have 15 days to get there, so let's see if we can do that. Now, one of the ironic things is that if I had taken kind of a different route in terms of going ahead, upgrading my ships, I might have been able to get there a little bit sooner, a little bit faster, but you can see we're still hemorrhaging credits. I'm going to be a little bit aggressive going through here because our supplies are okay. And I did get a great comment here that yes, technically those white spots, as long as they're not flashing, I can fly through them. I just have a bad habit in the hyperspace storms of hitting those things. But I know I'm kind of starting in a rush. But the reason I'm starting in a rush is because I want to get a bounty. I also got a great note here from another YouTube comment that's worth pointing out here, is that these scavengers, they're all independents. It's just sometimes they think they can take me, sometimes they can't. And I'm guessing they see how many of these big ships that I have, and they're like, we probably can't take you. I mean, two Dominators is pretty intimidating, as is on top of it being with the Legion and an Astral. So let's see, how close are we? We are how many days left? We have 8 days remaining. This is going to be cutting it close. So we either make it or we don't, or maybe we find a pirate donation on the way. But if we can get a, I'm going to take actually the speed burst as well. It does eat a little more fuel. But one of the things here that is a little rough about this is that right now we're flying kind of on course. I want to see if there is a portal that'll take me straight to a cryovolcanic world here. That puts us within 11,000. That's not great. So this puts us kind of on the other side. Can I make it with all this? I mean, we have 4 days to find her in here. I think, honestly, I might just take the central black hole, blast our way out of it. Well, that's a lot of damage to take from the singularity. How am I doing on fuel here? I can probably hit the fringe jump point and make it work. I mean, the other alternative is to go into the middle here. But yeah, we know she's near a cryovolcanic world, and the outer system jump point is the closest, but it's still really far away. I can't remember just how gigantic this system is. Let's pop in the middle here. We never want to go into a black hole in the very center, but we're starting right off here. So where's our cryovolcanic world? All the way down here. So outer system jump point is better than fringe system jump point. We're just going to emergency burn down. Now, this is where I found a Legion. It'd be hilarious if I found another one here in a second. So emergency burn out. And hopefully we can collect our bounty in time. This is going to be a little close. Closer than I'd like. But yeah, as long as this bounty doesn't run away from us. We're out of supplies. They're coming for us. They're hostile. We have 1 day remaining to collect on this. So we need to get supplies from these people as well. Alright, so we can't do ongoing repairs, so we're already taking a little bit of combat readiness. But it's December 15th. We're going to call this right on time. We're too large to disengage still. I do need to fix that with the fleet. And one of the things that I do want to do, maybe we'll do it here today, is go ahead and kind of get maybe sort of like put some of these ships in the storage bin and see what I can do. I have 4 friggin' apogees. That sounds like a trade fleet to me, and maybe fly and do some in-system trading. What do you say on the comlink? Surrender yourself and your goods, you'll be taking a very long walk out the airlock. I think you're going to do that to us anyway. Never trust a pirate. Let's continue. Now, I know technically the word on the street that I'm getting is to not deploy everything. And technically, I don't have any supplies on me right now. But I kind of feel like this is a decent move. We have some of these as backup. One of the other things that I got from another great comment that I didn't realize is that these actually will increase your deployment points. It's actually plus 70 deployment points, probably because I upped this settings here, plus 30 deployment points. And I didn't realize that you could actually click on these. And that's probably one of the very first tutorials where it says to talk about this. So we're just going to go here, but maybe that's another way where I've been playing this game wrong for so long. Maybe we'll let the Dominators take point today. Seems like fun. I said we should be able to take out these pirates with no problem. 100,000 credits is like easy street. But yet they didn't run away from us, so maybe they're hiding something. But another thing that I mentioned before that I didn't realize until I was watching, actually one part of the series by Wade Star, who's another great content creator for this game. And actually, I've watched a few other things of his, learned a few things about some other games just from watching other people play, which is a great thing to do. I'm happy to provide that for some of you all who may be interested in learning more about this game. But anyway, another thing that I learned that I did not realize, and I've had this game for over a year now, is that you can actually do deployment to the left, deployment to the right. So if you want to put like a fast ship to collect these beacons, I was always wondering how the AI was able to get to some of those places and be all over the map so fast. It's probably exactly by like deploying on the right side and getting that sensor jammer immediately. So that does give us a little bit less weapons range, which sucks, but all these guys are kind of falling over here. My carriers are in the back. This should be fine. So maybe with that knowledge, I don't need to have the settings all the way up to 700. But I do like the ability of having, and that's 700 for deployment points. So they've already, oh wow, somebody lost their kite. It's not a good day for them. You can see the deployment cost actually goes up there. So once again, this is why I say before and I say again, I appreciate the comments that I get from you all because it helps me with my book learning for this game. Because the great thing about a single player game is that you can play it by yourself. And you can kind of play it your own way. But that means that since other people aren't watching over my shoulder, they're not always going to know like how I can improve. Okay, you're probably dead. Yeah, you're, we're not even going to waste missiles on you. We're just going to start on you. Okay. See, I didn't time that well. What I should have done was fire my missiles as the shields were down and they're actually getting overloaded. Now, it doesn't matter there, but it will matter in more serious fights later. So that's the joy and rapture that is two hammerheads. But yeah, these guys are going to get routed in a hurry. And my goal here is really going to be to take on these big carriers. That's not mine. All right. Whew, that's a lot of missiles. All right, so now we're taking some shots. I'm actually going to take a moment here to vent. I know it's going to give me a little bit of damage, but okay, we need to not be so overextended here. So let's start with you. See if we can take you out with missiles this time. Just need to get your shields all the way, or your flux to be a problem. Which is an argument for taking more broadswords. I did see another comment that said, hey, maybe you should bring multiple autocannons. I do like that idea. Okay, so Apogee's combat repairs are already suffering. That's fine. My fighters are doing their best. We'll switch targets. Got to definitely vent here. Like, I have some really good support ships down here, but they're not doing a ton. Kind of, they're supporting me, but I am, like, pushed out on the line pretty hard. So we'll just kind of back this up a little bit. Let me not outrun my support. I didn't even rush forward, which is the temptation to do with the Legion, is just to run forward as fast as possible. So there's the Dominator dominating that ship. There's these two big cargo crate things hauling out over there. I guess maybe if we push to the left, that'll work out. But I kind of like having the comm relay here. So, like, I'm not in any super danger right now. And their ships are the ones that keep exploding. So I guess the best thing I can do at this point is just make sure I keep good shield discipline. Make sure I take out all these tiny fighters. Like, I kind of want to just fly really hard to the right, but that's going to expose my backside just a little bit. Okay, you want to play. We'll play. I think I'm going to get a really good missile shot here in just a second, if I can just be a little patient. Okay, they're not even putting their shields up right now, so there we go. Good missile shots. Vent here. My missiles actually didn't do it in time, so here's I shot my missiles just a touch too late. Alright, who do we want to take out? I think that guy's covered. So let's push up here and keep anybody from running away. There's our super aggressive officer, who's being super aggressive right now, which is exactly what we want. I think it's time for us to give a speed boost and hopefully not bump our apogee a little bit. Alright, so... Oh, I accidentally fired all the missiles. I was like, hey, wait a minute, why aren't my rockets firing? Well, that's a happy little accident right there. Maybe Bob Ross is not meaning it in the spaceship-to-spaceship engagement kind of way, but, you know, he was a drill sergeant before he was a everybody's favorite PBS artist. So, there we go. Anybody of ours looking like they're in trouble? Not really. I think this is pretty much a rout. Yeah, enemies defeated. They have a few little ships left. So we're going to pursue them. Second in command's going to do it because I have better luck with second in command kind of doing the thing here. Alright, that should be enough to take all of them out. Oh, we have one survivor. Alright, ship recovery. And this is something another commenter pointed out. I could press W or use story points to recover ships. That's called your difficult recovery. I'm not going to do it, though. Because none of these ships are ships that I want. So let's pick through the wreckage. 158 supplies. It's not going to cover us, like, for everything, but we're just going to go ahead and take everything. Double tap. And hopefully we get... No, we didn't get nearly as many supplies as I needed here. So part of the problem here now is that we're kind of dying. We did get money, so that's good. How are we doing on fuel? We have enough to make it to Mazalot, Ilm, and Yesod. Yesod. So that's fine. And I still need to double check. Like I said before, I'm pretty sure that I brought one of these to sell. But in case I'm wrong, I don't really want to be wrong, I will double check at the way station one more time. So, that's a good start. I mean, we're repairing like hell, and we're going to run out of supplies again in a minute. In a really fast minute here. And I don't think I just saw another ping on everything, so we're out of supplies again. This is one reason we want to build up our colony and have lots of goodies there. But I think there's a few bits of homework I need to do, even if that means I do end up missing. That's a lot of missions that I'm going to miss here. 23 days, 16 days. I still could possibly do the barren world. That's entirely possible if I can hit well enough here. So we're just going to go down. First things first, get our supplies for full repairs. But yeah, one thing I really want to do is to be able to just downsize my fleet a little bit, cut down my crew cost. I really shouldn't be doing this, but we're doing it anyway because we're kind of desperate to get to somewhere a little bit faster. And we're actually going to emergency burn through here. And what's going to put us in the best position? Maybe... Well, I guess we're going to Ilm. Alright, so we already have a few more bounties, which might end up being good. Like, I love how we're here and suddenly we have the whole bounty board light back up. That's the wrong nebula, but that's pretty good. That one's maybe a little bit more our speed. Over here, that actually was maybe in the same system. Oh, dwarf primary star, it wasn't in the same system. And I would like to maybe do some more exploration towards the edges of the map again. Not necessarily here, because we've kind of been here, but the game will take us there eventually. And see, I could have used some of those contracts before, but here we are. Important thing number one is let's get some supplies. We didn't run out of fuel, so that's a plus. They don't have a ton of supplies. but we're going to buy all the things. And we need to check like market prices for stuff too. We're not going to turn in the AI core, but we can sell the blueprint here. We can sell this blueprint. We're going to turn in those cores. I don't think the ore prices are going to be super significant. The lobster price could be super significant. We want to actually go to our colony to insert the fullerene spool. And that seems like a decent price, perhaps. That's okay to sell. Like if we for some reason we're going to a different part of the sector, we can make that work. Like right here, 87, that's a terrible price to sell. Domestic goods, we're taking those with us. I actually could buy those for a great price, but we're not. Food we need. Metals, I don't really care about trying to make a huge profit on metals. We ditch enough of those in space. So open market, buy all their shit too. This is one reason I wanted to get the colony kind of up and running a little bit faster, is just because that way I can start building some of my own stuff. And I am going to try to do a better job of checking what ships are available. Like we have, I mean, a Drover is not terrible. A Strike's pretty good. A Prometheus, we did just get the blueprint for it. But let's see here. There's our toxic world. We should have 2 Persian League places. So Yasad and over here are both pretty tiny. We may have somebody try to get us here. And contraband found. He takes 170 recreational drugs. That sucks. Alright, so we just lost more relationship with the Independents. Are you really trying to fight me? Did I just click the wrong thing here? I really don't want to fight you. Alright, well, we're going to fight you anyway, I guess. No. I guess we'll disengage. I really hate using a story point here, but that was me not doing a good job of reading. So, important thing for a game that you can play so much, so long, so fast is reading comprehension, paying attention to what the hell you're doing, not just clicking through menus, because that cost me some reputation, which I can gain back pretty easily because it's the Independence. But also a story point, which while there has been a hot fix that makes it a little bit easier to gain those back, they are still precious. Alright, so we're losing money again, but we have 500,000, so we're kind of making it back up. And I haven't looked too much at like some of the contracts here, but you're a known organization. Propose a mission for you to carry out. Payment would be 38,000. Enter standard orbit and try to deploy satellite. That's going to be a no. I have too big of a fleet to do that right now. What I should be doing is like getting a phase ship or a tiny thing or anything. You send down, you captain, join me. I'm not going to do that right now. Like, I do want to do some of these like little story missions and stuff eventually, but it's going to be kind of an issue here going forward. So now we're in a position where we're going. Well, I mean, 350 drugs is still fine. Where's Lobster? Where's Lobster Fest good to sell at? Apparently none of these places, so we'll just hold on to some lobster for a bit. We'll hold on to this ore for a bit too. We have plenty of it in our system. Eventually I do want to build a refinery. And I'm half debating gifting one of these to the pirates just so that they can, or selling it on a black market at a pirate station, just so I can start getting a lot more fuel on the black market. But see, crap like this, suddenly we don't have as much money. I mean, I could still buy, once again, these tankers are everywhere. I could buy another Heron. I'd think about it, but I'd have a lot of ships right now. But like, yeah, these Herons, that used to be pretty much the only thing I could buy on any of the markets. But this is how it's going to have to be. We have plenty of crew right here, so that's good. The volatile market here is volatile, as it were. Actually, they need them on Yasad, so that's a really good catch that I got it. You know, I feel really dumb for not checking volatiles up here. We're going to run back to Ilm, and we're going to see if we can make a profit. This is a little irresponsible on my part. I literally checked everything except that. Wow, we are bumping into everything. So we failed the probe. We're going to get a bunch of failed missions here, but we don't feel like a failure. We just happen to be one. All right, so how many story points can I spend at this place? Okay, right now we have people running from our fleet. We have a lot of fighting, so that's fun. We have a trader doing a friendly orbit. So, volatiles. 600 can be bought at a lower price. And that's probably true of the black market as well. So, let's buy 600 here. Because if we look over here, how much can we sell? They need 1,000 at Yasad. So we'll be able to hit most of that. All right. That's fine. So we're going to try to make a profit here. I think we're actually going to piss off the same guy who came after us before. I will emergency burn for that. Or maybe he got blasted by pirates. That would be some great karma if the guy that we pissed off by misclicking ended up getting blasted off into space. So there's some wreckage up here. Probably not any ships I'm particularly interested in. Let's fail some more missions, though. That's what I get for being a little too click happy on the accept mission screen. So I guess this means we have a little more to do. But the idea here is that if we go to Yasad, and hopefully somebody didn't just sell a bunch of volatiles to him. That's always the worry here. So they have a demand here. It's not like the biggest demand in the world, but we certainly are making a profit for selling them on other things. So let's just make a little bit of money. Do you guys need some heavy machinery? Yes, you do. All right, well, I can probably sell like 90 of you. Anything else that you maybe need? Like I said, I'm gonna do a little bit more market manipulation than I used to in this game. We'll even sell the ore. It's fine. So 187 money. Just like that, we're getting a little bit more in the bank. That's a lot of fuel. We need all the supplies we can get. Because you can see here that we are still repairing. And we can't actually see their military stuff, so... Repair ships at the shipyard, full supplies, require 617 supplies, so we don't even have enough to do that. So the funny thing is that for all that missioning we did going up and down and around, we're going to be losing some money on all of this, but it's okay. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this another way. So I lost a little bit of reputation, feel a little bit like a failure. He wants me to send 3,706 units that urgently need to be delivered to this place, which is 9.2 light years away. Our fuel tanks can only accommodate an additional this. That would be a pretty good. Let's see. Carefully approach the angry woman. Probably yeah, no. Not doing anything with Marines because I just sold my Marines. I could sell some of this fuel just to make some money. It does kind of suck because this is not a place where we want to be selling fuel. But if we sell just a... Okay, how much will we need to sell? Like if we sold 1,000 fuel. I mean, we could always screw somebody over here. But over here, Concerned Man... So I need to get rid of 17,000 fuel. You know what? I'm not going to do it. That's just a little bit too logistically annoying when I actually need to pass off stuff to other systems. So maybe what we do here is we go... Well, we need to visit over here to pick up some stuff and drop off some stuff. Let's look at our inventory real quick. We have excess of this. We need to really go by our home system, if I'm being perfectly honest here. I mean, we could drop off all of our lobster there, but what point? Yeah, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go over here, turn in our cores. We're going to go over here, check and make sure that I'm good to sell the other thing. You know what? I might actually sell it to the pirates. It's going to take a little bit more time, but yeah, it's just hilarious. Yeah, charged by black market trade. It's cool. They hate us because they ain't us. That's a hound, so not very good. Just a lot of little like pirate trash here. Dram. Yeah, I think it's time we went back home. A Colossus modified freighter. That might actually be worth salvaging. Since we're here, like, I'm not actually gonna repair it, but I'll take your stuff. So here we go, jump to hyperspace, and we are losing supplies again. You don't really want to get blasted by the heat again here. So accident report, Starflare gets major damage just because we got bumped by a hyperspace storm that I was trying to miss. That's a lot of explorations. So that puts us back here. That puts us over there, down here. I mean, we have two that are pretty close to each other. And I think that's an area I haven't really been to. Ajaya and Beta Al-Nagang. If I remember right, I did get a location I wasn't able to explore for a derelict. Oh, that's way down there. Okay. So maybe... I know there's always a question of why do you keep doing this to yourself? I think I'm just going to sit on it for now. I'm going to go home. I'm going to rearrange my fleet after I do this. We're going to call this episode The Voyage Home and try to actually get home. Maybe we won't call The Voyage Home. Maybe I'll come up with something that's not a Star Trek reference. Alright, so we can buy more drugs. We can barely buy any fuel from you. Alright, so you guys aren't great. You guys aren't great. Yeah, none of these are very exciting. I mean, that price is good, but where can I dump it off anywhere is the question. Doesn't seem like I can, but that's good to remember for later. So we're going to buy a bit more fuel, a bit more supplies, and look at that. Suddenly we are literally back to the money place that we started on, but we can finally repair our ships at the shipyard. So that's a plus. Let's go to the station commander here. Let's turn in everything but the Alpha Core. Like, the Alpha Core would give us a ton of money, but we're not that desperate for money. And look at our relationship up to 23. Okay, so 191 supplies. Okay, Kulnan is over here. Our other independent, the Don Pirates, are over here. Well, maybe if we do a drug run later. Sounds like something I shouldn't say without potentially getting banned on YouTube. Alright. So it looks like they have a lot of stuff to buy and sell. Yeah, fortunately they have a lot of fuel. They even have quite a few supplies. So that's a plus. Once again, are any of you all like weird price? Like, those armaments are pretty good. It's actually a pretty low price for these. And they're kind of needed on Yasad again. So these are just kind of some trade opportunities I'm trying to keep in the back of my brain right now. Because eventually we will, like I said, my goal here is going to be to kind of make my fleet a little bit smaller. Streamline it a little bit. Now, some of the deep exploration stuff, I'm absolutely going to want to take like the big guns and everything. But needing this much fuel and everything is kind of crimping my style a little bit. Okay, so we're not going to go up here to the Independence. Are you actually coming after me? Ugh. Alright. Okay. Let's allow the scan. Nothing suspicious. Thank you. Don't worry, officer. We're not emergency burning for any reason. What is that? Okay, that's another fleet. With a bunch of mothballed ships, too. Welcome to the Club Mothball. Where everything will give you some kind of lung disorder. But yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time for us to go and do what I said I should have done a while ago. Which is go back to, what is this? A derelict ship for 90,000. All the way up there at Delta Hero? I'm not going to do it. I want to do it. I want to take all these. But like I said, is I have a cat that is clawing the shit out of my leg, because cats love to do that, is sometimes you just gotta get your stuff organized. Like, let's go back over here. We're losing a little bit of money every month, but let's see. We do have... Okay, good. So I can sell the other one of these. I'm actually going to drop off the Alpha Core here as well. I kind of want to have 2 on hand, but we're going to sell this. We're going to keep this. Any other weapons? I mean, Gauss Cannon can be good for one side of the conquest. The Molyer Cannon might be good for the other one. Storm Needlers are... I don't really know if that's the best move here, but I do want to actually... I'll talk about when I get back over to the home system, but the Cryo, whatever, arrhythmic engine is what I'm going to be focusing on next for where I put my next colony. It needs to be on a place that is hot. Okay, Hammer Barrage, Locust SRM, Hurricane Merv. I should probably store some of these weapons, but since I just said we're gonna be literally redoing some fleets here, I'm gonna take some weapons instead. And we may do a drop off when I come back, so let's at least do this for now. So no tariffs for anything, tax for snacks. It's fine. So we're maybe gonna do some Star Traders Frontiers kind of stuff next time. If you're not familiar with that game by the Trees Brothers, it's really good. It's very different from this game, though. It's much more about you are just on one ship, and you've got to make it work. Alright, so... Right now, we have a fleet of ships, and we're trying to make it work, and goal number 1 is to just get my butt back home. Like the whole thing that I was talking about doing before, my eyes got really wide and took on way too many exploration missions. So fortunately, this path is really easy to go around these hyperspace storms that I'm now consistently not calling solar storms. That's pretty good. But let's see. I'm very curious about how far away, because I don't have a... fortunately, the orbits are pretty good here, but I don't actually have a specific jump point for my home planet. So I kind of got to guess about where's good. But, that said, King, or Xing, or however you pronounce it, barren bombarded world. We're not going to establish a colony right now. You may say to yourself, well, why is it really exciting with the sparse ore, the moderate ore deposits? It has no atmosphere, and it's also extremely hot. So this is a really good place, even though it's 200%, which is why I'm not going to do it right now, because I need to make sure my other colony's kind of built up and doing okay. But this extreme heat will let the computer thing get 100% larger fleets if I put the fleets out of this planet. So whereas before, like the sort of standard play was to take your first world and your second thing that you build is a patrol HQ. Look, great timing, colony growth size 4. We are just in time to put ourselves into debt by dropping down a second industry here. So, thoughtful looking businesswoman, what kind of opportunity are you thoughtfully offering to me? A steady supply of 4 units of food and a reliable colonial administrator. My organization would expect first delivery within 2 cycles. Once established, I'd arrange for monthly payments of 4,800 credits for a total of those. I'm not really interested in getting in that kind of arrangement right now. But see, we have all this stuff here, which is awesome. Like, this is why I build the way station. We can also actually store all these weapons here, which is fantastic. Because now I can just come here, refuel. Granted, I have to pay. Like, I could pay 200,000 for supplies. I shouldn't. But this is all standard market rate. The more important thing is fuel. I have a lot of crew available. I can actually drop a bunch of weapons in here as well. And since they are in my planetary storage, it should be fine, but we'll hold on to that right now. Resource stockpiles. If we look at our colony info, we're actually okay on drugs now. Congratulations. I could actually turn off the hazard pay, but my growth like stops. So we don't want to do that just yet, which is why I'm saying we're not losing money here, and we're pretty close to turning the corner. The recent unrest definitely doesn't help, and I could mash this stabilize button. But the other thing I want to do first is to go to the spaceport, and this is something that's pretty important to do just in your games in general here, is if you find items like this, we could upgrade it to a megaport. That's expensive. We're going to install an item. Full array spool increases colony accessibility by 30. We qualify for it because we don't have extreme weather or anything, but our accessibility is going to go up to 119%, and look at that. We are rolling in the credits now. If we take away the hazard pay, our growth is still pretty slow, so we're going to keep it. But we're almost there. We are almost at the point of where we can stabilize. Now, there are some other things that I would like to do. Like, I can't afford to upgrade this to a battle station, but I'd love to do that. We can't upgrade the mining. We can assign an AI core, make improvements for this, for increasing our accessibility further, and that would be pretty nice. Second Patrol HQ actually is too expensive and would kind of cause us some issues. What we're going to do instead, and I'm just going to talk about kind of my future plans here, is that we're going to be putting a Patrol HQ on that second planet, and I'm either going to put heavy industry or fuel production. I have 2 planets on here, or in this system, with no atmosphere. So you do need no atmosphere to assign that synchronicon core, whatever it's called, for fuel production. That's literally a requirement. But we need volatiles, or access to volatiles, to do that. The way you get volatiles, obviously, is from mining a planet with volatiles. We have a cryovolcanic world for that. I also may want to put refining on that other planet, because that way we can just kind of turn my ores around and make them good. But all these have little stuff that you can add to it. I'm going to add light industry, though, because it demands organics that we already have, and it will take care of a lot of our other problems that we have kind of building going forward. And I could, well, we're not going to remove it from the queue. But since I did buy all of these stockpiles to have before, let's look at our resources. Let's go ahead and drop off some domestic goods, some recreational drugs, actual food, just in case things get stupid. And we'll do that here. But like I said, I'm really excited that now I can buy this stuff. I'm not so concerned about this, although we can always see, it's like, is there an opportunity for transplutonic ores to pass them somewhere else? So colony info. If I hit the stabilize button, we can only do this every now and then. Recent unrest goes down every 3 months. Our stability 7 right now. I don't see a reason to accidentally hit that button and make things worse or better. But population. Our population should be growing here again in just a little bit, because we don't get another industry until level 5 planetary growth. And for level 5 planetary growth, I definitely want to get farming, because this is the only system with farming. So, that said, I do have some credits left. Not a ton, but this is where I need to look at my fleet screen. We need to go ahead. We need to unmothball this. We need to unmothball this. We need to store you. We need to store you. Now, next questions. Like I said, I may be doing a little bit of Fleet Trader Frontiers here, or Star Trader, Trade Sector, whatever you want to call it. I do have some other ships that I need to drag from the other space stations. Like right now, I just have these 2 in here. You know what? Let's actually take out the Heart of Darkness. And since we're like not planning on getting in any huge fights, let's go ahead and store you. Store you. You see how we're suddenly got like way too much crew? Store you. Store you. Put you up here. Like, all I'm trying to do right now is to just make some money back. We'll actually keep this little escort. Well, I know. Well, if we're just, like, doing pure trade, then maybe we don't need to worry as much about some of the stuff here. But right now, I'm unassigned, so I'll put myself on this ship. And, like, we want to make sure our officers that we're paying for actually have work they can do, so... We'll put you over here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I can start getting some like smaller ships here, but our fleet size, I'm pretty comfortable with that, to be honest. I am paying a little bit out the nose for people right now, but one of my big expenditures, if we just look at our income here, is actually crew payroll. Now our officer payroll is super big too. And we have some administrators that I still need to figure out how to unassign them from my payroll. So I'd appreciate any information on that in the comments. But yeah, I can definitely... Part of my goal here is to ditch some crew. I only need like half of this. Literally, I can get rid of this many. So 2,000 people, congratulations, you just got put on shore leave. All right, so we are cutting things down. We are downsizing so that we can upsize. But you see this? We still have a lot of cargo space, which is awesome. So how do I want to do this? Because we're not going to sit here and do this all day. We'll do some of this off camera as well. But the Heart of Darkness, I'm kind of taking the crappiest ship right now. And I am losing a little bit of opportunity for maybe passively repairing some ships that I do want to repair by running around this for a few months. But it's fine. Having my Apogees or potentially this Pirate Falcon build up is pretty solid. But I do want to go over a few things that I did get information for. Like, for instance, we could take off auxiliary thrusters here. And augmented field drive increases the maximum burn by 2. We are really doing nothing with this ship, but just flying. Same with this one. Auxiliary thrusters, that's nice. If we get caught out and we have to run, we want these to be able to go pretty fast. But since we're just doing trade fleet stuff right now, augmented field drive, once again, increases burn by 2. So suddenly, if we look over here, all of our ships before, this one now has a burn rate of 8. This one has a burn rate of 8. I think these are still at 8. And this is where the same thing. I passed up the Prometheus tanker before, actually 1 or 2 of them for free, because of the lack of burn rate. We may actually... Well, I'll keep that freighter just because it's pretty efficient for both of these are pretty efficient for the amount of crew that they can hold, and their cargo capacity is okay. Maybe I don't need this one as much, but... I mean, we kind of need it right now, I guess. Maybe not. What is it that you contribute? Civilian transport. Well, I have 4 Apogees, and Apogees are well known for being able to carry a lot of crew. So we actually may sell the Cadmus or Cadmu. That'll be fine. But like I said, we're going to be doing some attempts at profiteering next time, kind of changing gears. I've been doing a lot of exploration to the 4 corners of space, and as good as that has treated me, as you can probably tell, our money situation is still a little tight. So what I'm going to do off camera here is I'm going to refit some of these ships. I do want to look at some resources. I got some awesome comments from people about how to better fit some of these Apogees and everything, and this could still be maybe a good like survey planets, because every single one of these Apogees comes with standard survey equipment. You're not going to see it on that screen, but you'll see it right here. They all come with surveying equipment all the time, so we can survey the crap out of everything. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. This is Asher with more Starsector. Had to think really hard about what the name of the game is. And although right now my fleet is... a lot of it's on the shore, and we have a lot less crew right now. What's going to happen is that we're going to try to build up our cash flow by making good trades and exploring kind of a part of the game that I haven't done as much lately. Hopefully avoiding some pirates along the way. And once we get back out into the world, we'll hopefully have our colony build up a little bit here. Because right now, Plesius is... light industry is going to be a really good moneymaker and really good for my colony's self-sufficiency here. Like right now, look at how good we are on the market just here. And we're going to have another planet that we can actually put a automated borer into that'll get us even more stuff here. So we're already doing great. And we're going to be doing even more better, to use the idiocracy phrase. as the days go on. So we've turned the money corner on the colony. That's it for now. This is Asher. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. Like I said, I do ask questions seriously while playing, just because I'd love to know what you all have to say about it. I don't mind getting backseated. I don't mind taking suggestions. I don't mind wishes for luck, because obviously I've gotten a lot of good ships, and the colony space I found's fine. In the back of my mind is still like, well, where the hell is Nanoforge going to be? I haven't even found a corrupted Nanoforge yet, which is weird, but heavy industry and all that building is still off on the horizon a little bit. So we'll do this again soon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.